All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Race number 1. We'll see Giancarlo and Max Gunther on the front row. Adam Barker, Harry Volsmir on the second row. Rudolph Gunther, Mike Marshall have the third row. And Edmund Jones, Cody Kennedy rounding out the field. Everybody getting stacked up, just waiting on the last couple of drivers. The Porsches have the front row, but will they be able to hold on to it? Everybody on the grid as they begin to roll. Porsche pace car leading the two Porsches on the front row. A few drivers already getting some heat and cleaning their tires off. This last section of track really is a lot of fun, but it is so easy to make a mistake carrying all the speed you possibly can. It's gonna be an interesting morning at Indy. Let's watch where the Porsche pace car pulls in. There he goes to pit road. That'll be important going into race 2. Giancarlo and Max Gunther up front. Giancarlo in control. They come out of the final turn onto the front straightaway. Giancarlo fires. They are away. Green flag is in the air at Indy. Max Gunther trying to hold off Harry. Harry in the McLaren has the advantage on the straight. 3 wide through 1. The Porsche fights back to the inside, but Harry clears. Max back to third. Barker now in 4th, Rudolph Gunther in 5th. Mike Marshall in 6th, Cody Kennedy moves up into 7th. Edmund Jones back in 8th, but we get on the straightaway. Things about to change again. Max trying to get back past Harry. Max will have the advantage in the turns, but Harry has the straightaway speed here. And while they battle, Giancarlo already has a 2-second lead after lap 1. Oh, big wreck! Several cars involved. Max Gunther manages to survive. Rudolph Gunther comes through. Mike Marshall, Edmund Jones, Cody Kennedy come through. Harry Volsmir and Adam Barker lose a lot of ground. Let's take a look. Taking a look at this from the blimp. There is Harry. Oh, looks like Gunther just barely tapped him. Adam Barker checked up. He got tapped as well. We said this last sector would be tricky, and there you see it. Max just barely taps Harry. No damage, but both keep rolling, but lose a ton of ground. And huge win on that for Giancarlo. His lead now 5.2 seconds over Max Gunther. Rudolph Gunther sitting in third. Mike Marshall now in fourth. The rookie here, Edmund Jones, up to fifth. Harry Volsmere in sixth. Cody Kennedy in seventh. Adam Barker in eighth. Harry already starting to make up ground he lost. He's past Cody, sets his sights on Edmund, just 1.8 seconds ahead. Definitely a wild start to the morning. Hey, good morning, Online Game Hunter. How are you, buddy? Giancarlo's 5 1/4 second, now 5.5 second lead after setting the fastest lap of the morning so far. Rudolph Gunther is closing the gap on Max at the moment. Mike Marshall came into this morning third in points. Mike on one heck of a run. Edmund Jones still holds on to fifth, but here comes Harry. We have seen Harry do this before. Early problems, he charges back. And there he goes. Harry takes fifth. Doing pretty good, Game Hunter. How are you? Doing pretty good this morning. Cody Kennedy has come to pit road unexpectedly. I don't see any damage to the car. Not sure why Cody is on pit road. Giancarlo out front by 6 seconds, 6.5. This is just a race for second at this point. I appreciate it, Hunter. Thank you so much, buddy. I think race 2 is going to get a bit wild. Harry Volsmere has fought his way back to fifth after the early incident and is now closing on fourth place. Mike Marshall. Harry is only 5.5 seconds out of second place. Hell, I do try. Harry really close to Mike Marshall, now less than a second behind, 5.7 seconds behind Max Gunther. We've seen Harry make bigger comebacks in the past. No telling what's going to happen here, especially if Harry can get back to Max Gunther. Will he repay that little love tap? Rudolph Gunther in third was closing the gap on Max. Remember, that McLaren tends to be the fastest car out there. Definitely the fastest on the straightaway. But Max is capitalizing on the turns where the Porsche handles the best and holding a 2.1 second lead. Mike Marshall now has Harry right there. Harry makes a move. And I think Harry's going to go for it on the front straightaway. Out of the turn, Harry looks underneath. He'll outbrake him into one. Big run for Harry. Gets even and majorly outbrakes Mike Marshall. Here's an interesting thing about Marshall this morning. He actually reconfigured his shift light for the new McLaren because its weird shifting point is so much lower than every other car. He now has his shift point mapped correctly, so he knows exactly when to shift and does not have any fall off when the turbo hits its limit. Giancarlo, meanwhile, on a Sunday cruise, he is 8.1 seconds ahead. A little bit of a battle on lap 1, and that one little incident Harry Volsmeer now less than 3 seconds behind third place Rudolf Gunther. Harry, just maximum attack here. I honestly think Harry drives better and faster with an early incident. Race 2, he is going to be tough to beat. Mike Marshall still holds on to 5th, but Edmund Jones, the new driver this morning, is closing in. He is 1.8 seconds back, and Adam Barker, who is also involved in that lap 1 incident, is closing in on Edmund. Giancarlo is just gaining just about a second a lap so far on Max. His lead now 9.25 seconds. Rudolf Gunther in third, losing ground to Max in second. Harry less than 2.25 seconds behind Rudolf at the moment. Adam Barker back in 7th is closing in on Edmund Jones, now 3/4 second back. Mike Marshall just ahead of both of them, about to have a 3-car battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th. I did hear the drivers saying the Audi has been the best car for a lot of the official sessions this week, and there it goes. Adam gets a big run. Edmund just scoots over and lets him go. Adam now setting his sights on Mike Marshall just ahead. Max Gunther in second, Rudolf in third, but Harry in fourth, 1.3 seconds behind Rudolf. Meanwhile, Giancarlo out for his Sunday drive, 10.3 second lead. With the top 7 invert going into race 2, that means Giancarlo will start in 7th place. Based on what we're seeing here so far, though, I don't think that'll matter. Harry less than a second behind. He has pretty much caught Rudolf. Should be about in the slipstream when they hit the straight. We know Mike Marshall has that new shift set up. Let's see if we can dial up his in-car camera. There you see his RPMs. Keep an eye on that, because when he hits about 71 to 7,200, that is when he will shift up. There he goes. He went a little too far on that one, it seems like. Back on the brakes, but you see just how low he is shifting versus can't see the RPM on Giancarlo's. Let's see if we can see the tack on the Audi. Nope. And let's dial up Edmund. There you go. That is in the Corvette. Almost 8,000 RPM before they shift in every other car. It has been a learning experience for the drivers in the McLaren. Rudolph Gunther has had a problem. Rudolph Gunther and Harry Volsmir side by side. Oh, Rudolph tried to get the nose in the back end, just stepping out. He manages to recover, but does lose third place to Harry. That lap one incident put Harry to the back of the field in 8th place. He has already charged his way back to 3rd. Hey, good morning, Fable Destiny. Going good. How are you? Harry now less than 5 seconds behind Max. But with under 5 minutes to go, will he be able to run him down? Meanwhile, Giancarlo just taking his Porsche out for a Sunday drive. His lead now 11.5 seconds. We talked about that lap one incident giving him an advantage, but when he crossed the start-finish line on lap one, his lead was only about 2.25 seconds. He is just checked out. Harry made his way into 3rd, but has not closed the gap on Max since then. Rudolph Gunther back in 4th now. Mike Marshall in 5th. Adam Barker has just about caught Mike. He has moved Edmund Jones back to 7th, and we still don't know why Cody Kennedy made the unexpected pit stop that put him back in 8th. I suspect it is something related to the fact he is driving a Ford. Harry holds the gap at 5.1 seconds. There for a while, it did look like Harry was gonna run down all the way to 2nd place. It was not possible for him to run down Giancarlo unless Giancarlo made a mistake. But man, what a charge Harry had. Rudolph Gunther back in 4th. Mike Marshall still holds on to 5th. Barker right on his bumper. Mike's got a couple laps left to go here. Will he be able to hold off Adam Barker? Adam started in third, involved in that lap 1 incident, sent him back. He has also had a great comeback, just not to the level of Harry Volsmere this morning. Harry is starting to close the ground on Max, now 5 seconds back. Mike Marshall is actually starting to close in on Rudolph Gunther as well. Adam Barker being right on his bumper, definitely causing Mike to push a little bit harder. Snoopy on the side, cheering him on. Adam keeps peeking as they go into the turn, but hasn't made the move yet. Giancarlo still out front, 12.5 seconds now over Max. What a comeback for Harry in third, Rudolph in fourth. Edmund Jones in his first race holds on to seventh for the moment. Giancarlo headed through the final sector of the track. Onto the front straightaway. Likely we'll see Barney wave the white this time. Harry Volsmere is coming to pit road. What in the world just happened? Max Gunther now in second. Rudolph will come by and take third. Folks, I do not know what just happened. Harry Volsmere had an epic charge back up into the top three after a lap 1 incident. He is now gone to pit road and drops back to seventh. We'll try and get a word with him after we talk to the top three. Might have been a fuel stop. Harry was only on pit road for 4 seconds. Onto the front straightaway. Giancarlo just absolutely dominates race 1 at Indy. Comes home with a 13.7 second lead with the win. Max Gunther coming home in second, and with the last lap pit stop by Harry, Rudolph Gunther comes home in third. And of course, the obligatory celebration, which puts Rudolph on his lid. And looks like Adam's upside down. Edmund is still flipping. Let's talk to our top three. Starting with Rudolph. Rudolph, that was a great fight and a surprising last lap pit stop gave you third back.
Yeah, that was a little bit of luck, but now we know why Harry was so fast. He didn't have enough fuel.
Oh, that's
Just
got to be
kidding.
heartbreaking for him.
Yeah, he was really quick. I would have had no chance. He is, I think, more than a second quicker per lap than I am. So I wouldn't have any chance without that little, problem.
Well, it was a great fight and a great finish. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, Doug.
Max Gunther comes home in second. Max, another podium finish, man. You got to be happy, but do you have anything in that car for Giancarlo?
I don't think so. Yeah, well, it was a rough race. The first lap was quite chaotic, but it was great.
Well, the first lap, you guys ended up falling about 2.5 seconds behind Giancarlo, but then the charge back, there's just nothing there. I thought the Porsche was slow on straight lines.
Yeah, it is. It is. But Giancarlo just, I think, nails every corner, so it's really hard to get even close to him.
So, how hard going into race 2 will you be blocking him behind you?
Very.
I
I try to. Well, I try to, but very.
Well, good luck, man. You got quite a fight on your hand, but a great run. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dick. Thanks.
And finally, our winner, Giancarlo. So, Giancarlo, I'm guessing your car needs to go to tech inspection. Grip packs, nitrous, what do you got in there?
We were just talking about how to pass tech in the Discord.
Well, I have to say, man, we've seen you dominate in the past, but that was just a whole nother level this morning.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I think I got fortunate that they had issues behind, and then it just kind of turned into me hot lapping in free air. So, as always, the second race is going to be the most interesting.
Well, you have to come from 7th place, but man, you had a ton of speed in race 1, so it may just come down to how long it takes you to get past everybody.
Yeah, we'll see. It's kind of a tight track. The straights, Porsche's not great in the straights. The McLaren is incredibly fast, so we're gonna have to pick our passing opportunities very wisely to make sure everyone finishes the race.
Now, you saw how fast Harry was on his comeback charge this morning. It was extremely fast and likely the only car that could outrun you this morning. Are you going to be worried about him being able to stay with you this morning?
Probably. I mean, it's more me staying with him. I think he's starting on pole, so he might have the advantage to run away at the start, and then I'll see what I can do to potentially catch back up to him.
Well, it's definitely going to be an interesting one, man. Congratulations on the win. Good luck in race 2.
Thanks, Doug.
Well, Giancarlo ready to go. Race 2 starting here in just a minute. Anybody want to make a prediction in the comments? We'd love to hear it. But it does sound like with the invert, Harry will start up front. Giancarlo will drop to 7th place. Giancarlo will have to come through a lot of traffic, and if Harry has speed like he did in race 1, he might be gone from the green flag. Definitely going to be an interesting second race. Cody Kennedy in the Ford. He finished in 8th, race 1, so I'm sure we'll see another 8th place finish here in race 2 because Ford. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Race 2. The top 7 have inverted. Harry Volsmir will start up front next to Edmund Jones. Adam Barker, Mike Marshall have the second row. Rudolph Gunther and Max Gunther on the third row. Giancarlo, after winning race 1, starting in 7th. Cody Kennedy back in 8th because Ford. Cody honestly knew better than to drive that car this morning, but did it anyway. So please feel free to make Ford jokes and Cody jokes in the comments. The field is rolling. Now remember, Harry can fire off as soon as the pace car hits a certain point on pit road. After that race 1 incident, if I'm Harry, I am launching as soon as possible. Edmund Jones, the lone Corvette in the field, also on the front row. The pace car is in. Harry in control. Harry is fired. They are away. Green flag is in the air. Harry is gone. Already, will he be able to capitalize? Battling back behind into turn 1. Adam and Edmund come in side by side. Adam pulls into second. Everybody single file through the first few turns. Giancarlo all over the back bumper of Mike Marshall. Looks like Edmund Jones is dropping back. He is now back in 4th. Rudolph Gunther up to 3rd. Barker in 2nd, still within striking distance of the leader for the moment. Oh! Rudolph goes wide. He may get a slowdown. Max Gunther has had a problem. And Giancarlo moves up. He is now into 4th. Here they come out of the final turn. Harry leads lap 1. But does not have a big lead over Adam. They are, however, almost 3 seconds ahead of 3rd. Let's take a quick look at some of the incidents from lap 1. Watching Rudolph Gunther here. Coming through those very tight and slow turns on the power. Just goes wide. A good save. And then Max Gunther back behind. The same corner his dad had problems in. He just snaps loose and goes around. Quickly recovers. And it looks like Edmund Jones may have had a problem a moment ago. Oh, overshoots entry. Harry's still out front. Adam's still on his bumper in second. Giancarlo has made his way to third, but is 2.9 seconds back. Rudolph Gunther in fourth as we've got a battle for the lead. Adam in the Audi may pull it off here. It's close. It is really close. Harry fighting back, gets the nose ahead. He will have the advantage on the straightaway, but Adam has position into the turn. Oh, Adam slips, and Harry reclaims the lead. And that did allow Giancarlo to close within striking distance and bring Rudolph with him. Edmund Jones trying to make the move on Mike Marshall. Into one, Edmund takes it. Cody Kennedy is right there. Max Gunther trying to close back in after his spin. Giancarlo just set the fastest lap of the race. The top three now nose to tail. Harry, Adam, and Giancarlo. Rudolph in fourth is closing in. Edmund Jones now to fifth. Cody Kennedy in sixth for the moment. Mike Marshall on his bumper in seventh. Max Gunther continuing to close in back behind in eighth. Harry gets a little gap on the straightaway. But into turn one, looks like Adam braking a little later. Closes back in. Edmund Jones, Cody Kennedy, and Mike Marshall still nose to tail. Max Gunther getting closer and closer. Adam looking once again. Giancarlo got a big run out of that turn. It looked like he was going to try and make a move to the high side, couldn't get there. Out of the turn, Harry onto the front straightaway, starts to pull a gap again. That McLaren is just so fast on the straight. Rudolph Gunther just 1.3 seconds behind this battle. As the 4-car battle back here, Mike Marshall now back into 5th. Edmund Jones is slipping back into 8th. Max now up into 6th. There's been quite a battle going on back here. And they have split the field into 2 groups, separated by 10.5 seconds. A 4-car battle at the front, a 4-car battle further back. Harry trying like crazy to hold on to that lead. Adam keeps attacking. They try and carry the momentum out of that final turn to stay in the slipstream of the leader. Giancarlo lost a little ground on the front stretch that time. Rudolph Gunther now closing up even closer, just about into Giancarlo's slipstream. Mike Marshall and Max Gunther have a little space. Back to Cody Kennedy and Edmund Jones. Mike Marshall has had a problem back behind. There's Mike battling with Max. Oh, just goes a little too far and lost a ton of track position. He's fought back once already. Can he do it again? Harry still holds on to the lead. Giancarlo is now taken second from Barker in third. Rudolph Gunther still lurking in fourth. After the incident behind, Max Gunther has pulled a big gap on sixth place Cody Kennedy, but Cody, Edmund, and Marshall all still together. Giancarlo staying right on the bumper. Adam Barker not far behind, just 0.8 of a second. Rudolph right behind him, about a second back. This top four, nobody gaining or losing any ground at the moment. Cody Kennedy has now moved into 6th, Edmund into 7th, Mike Marshall in 8th. The 5th place Max Gunther is starting to gain a little ground. He is still 10.5 seconds behind Rudolph, but he is closing little by little. so far. He has held off everybody who has made a move. Rudolph Gunther is closing the gap little by little on Barker. The McLaren power definitely paying off on the long straightaways here at Indy. Mike Marshall right back to the bumper on Cody Kennedy. Edmund Jones has slipped way behind. Looks like Mike is going for the move. He'll try and outbrake him into the next turn. Cody waits longer, goes deeper into the turn and holds position. Adam Barker is starting to lose some ground in third. He is now about 1.5 seconds behind the lead battle. Mike Marshall, Cody Kennedy still battling back for 6th. Cody holds him off for the moment. Mike has the advantage on the straightaway. Will he be able to outbrake him this time? Mike gets the run. And Cody outbreaks him through there again, but Mike back on the power. Almost got there. Mike's on the move, gets right to the bumper, has to take the turn wide. Can he get him again into turn 1? Looks like he lost some ground just with that big run. Having to swing wide to stay out of Cody's bumper, and that has allowed Edmund Jones to close back in. Max Gunther continuing to close in. He is 9 seconds behind and closing. Giancarlo sitting at second right behind Harry. We knew Giancarlo was fast in race 1 with that big lead he had. And we knew Harry was fast with that big comeback. The question now is, which one is faster? Giancarlo looks low, headed toward turn 1. Not enough run. Mike Marshall had an off track a moment ago. Edmund Jones has now moved into 7th. Marshall back behind in 8th. Cody Kennedy now has the Corvette of Edmund to deal with. Harry and Giancarlo still nose to tail. They are pulling away from Barker in 3rd. Rudolph Gunther in 4th, staying about a second behind. He has not been able to gain any ground on Adam. Max, however, is gaining quickly. He is 7.5 seconds back. Edmund Jones has had a problem. Edmund trying to make the move on Cody Kennedy. Just overshoots it into the grass. Mike Marshall really capitalizes there. A close call, but what a move. Giancarlo still on the back bumper of the leader. Cody Kennedy, Mike Marshall, Edmund Jones, all three back together. Max Gunther still about 7.5 seconds back. Rudolph Gunther in 4th. Barker in 3rd. And the top two have checked out. They are 3.7 seconds ahead of 3rd place, Adam Barker. Giancarlo is looking. He goes to the high side. Can't quite get there. Remember that McLaren does have an advantage on the straightaway. Giancarlo in the Porsche will have to make his move in the turns. Edmund Jones has crashed back behind. Edmund holding on to 7th, looks to the inside on Mike Marshall, couldn't quite get there. Backs it across the track, does recover, but they both get away. He's got ground to make up again. Remember, pit stops just ahead. Just shy of the halfway point for race 2. And it could be a game changer. Some of the drivers were very worried about pit stops. Saw a lot of them practicing pit road entry and exit. Giancarlo looks again, can't get there. Harry shutting the door. Mike Doling is usually known as the Minister of Defense, but Harry is doing an amazing job holding on to the lead today. Adam Barker back in third has gained about a quarter second due to the battling, but the driver really on the move is Max Gunther. Now just 5 1/4 seconds back and closing on Rudolph. That time by with the battling. Adam gained a little ground, now 3 1/4 seconds back. Max Gunther continues his charge. Mike Marshall now back up into 6th. Cody Kennedy in 7th. Edmund Jones back in 8th. Max Gunther now just 5 seconds behind Rudolph as we approach the halfway point and likely start seeing pit stops very soon. I suspect here we go. Giancarlo got a big run down the straight. He might have him here. Harry outbrakes him. Giancarlo goes to the other side. Can't get there. And here we go again. Giancarlo looks to the inside but can't get it. Harry goes off in the grass. Giancarlo takes the lead. Watch this as they come back out into the short chute, cutting back in. Harry just goes wide, a little slip. Gets her gathered up, but not before Giancarlo jumps to the lead. This could be the deciding moment of the race. Giancarlo now has a 1.3 second lead over Harry. Adam Barker in third, 2 1/4 seconds back, closing quickly on Harry. Max Gunther back in fifth, now just 3 1/2 seconds behind Rudolph. Mike Marshall back in sixth, has given himself 5 1/2 seconds breathing room over this battle between Cody Kennedy and Edmund Jones. Harry Volsmir had that epic charge in race 1. It looked like he might dominate race 2. Bit of a heartbreak there. That one mistake cost him the lead. Adam Barker still closing in, 1.8 seconds back behind Harry. Giancarlo in clean air already has a 2-second lead. Max Gunther is caught right up to the back bumper of Rudolph, just 9/10 of a second. Edmund Jones, Cody Kennedy battling it out. Edmund pulls ahead for the moment. It looks like he will take the spot. Meanwhile, Mike Marshall had been battling with both drivers earlier, now has opened up a 7.7 second gap. And speaking of bigger gaps, Giancarlo has moved out to a 2.5 second lead over Harry. Cody Kennedy is the first one to come to pit road. Adam Barker in third has closed in on Harry, now just 1.3 seconds back. Hey, how's it going, Swapski? Harry Volksmere gives up second. He is in. Giancarlo continues to pull away out front. Barker now into second. Rudolph third. Max in fourth. Mike Marshall and Edmund Jones back behind in 6th and 7th. Will either of these drivers come to pit road this time? Cody Kennedy on his way back out. Harry Volksmere finally in his pit stall. Looks like this may be a fuel-only stop for Harry. He is away. Cody took tires. Harry did not. Tire strategy could be a deciding factor here. Giancarlo continues to stay out. Adam Barker coming in. Rudolph Gunther and Max Gunther battling, and Rudolph is coming in. Let's see if Barker takes tires here. A long, slow drive to his pit stall. Rudolph right behind him, also making that long, slow drive. Adam Barker is up. He is getting tires. Rudolph Gunther is getting tires. Edmund Jones now on pit road for his stop. Giancarlo take tires is the question. Here he comes. Let's find out. Max Gunther in second. Mike Marshall currently in third. And here comes Max Gunther to pit road. Giancarlo is up. He is getting tires. Looks like Harry may be the only driver that did not get tires. Mike Marshall now coming in. Harry Volsmir may reclaim the lead here. Giancarlo on his way out. And he will hold on to the lead. Harry back to second. Adam Barker in third. Max Gunther now has fourth. Rudolph Gunther currently running in fifth. Mike Marshall still on pit road. Edmund Jones, Cody Kennedy battling for seventh and eighth. Giancarlo still has the lead now, 5.3 seconds, 5.1 seconds ahead of Harry. Adam Barker sits in third, about 2.8 seconds back in closing. Max Gunther in fourth, about 6.5 seconds back. Rudolph Gunther in fifth, closing in on Max, 5.1 seconds back. Mike Marshall currently in sixth, Edmund Jones in seventh, and Cody Kennedy in eighth. And Cody Kennedy has had a problem. There's Cody right behind. Just comes through, and we have seen that so many times with that car. No rear grip on the Mustang. Poor Cody knew better. Harry Volsmir back in second, not gaining any ground, but Barker in third is. Max Gunther in fourth, Rudolph Gunther in fifth. Rudolph not gaining ground on Max anymore. Mike Marshall back in sixth is closing in on Rudolph, but he is 28 seconds back. Unlikely to catch him. Cody Kennedy back in eighth, trying to run down seventh place. Edmund Jones. Max Gunther just set the fastest lap of the race. Giancarlo dominated race one. Now out front with a big lead in race two. Could he go 2 weeks in a row with the sweep? He won both races last week at Le Mans. Can he pull off the win in both races here today? Just needs to be careful. He's got a 7.5 second lead over Harry, which is about to grow as Adam and Harry about to battle it out for second. And Max Gunther 6 seconds back. Hopes they battle for a while, and we'll give him an opportunity to reel him in. Again, race 2, Giancarlo on a Sunday cruise. Harry and Adam, though, back together, and they are going to fight it out again. So far, Harry's McLaren has been the faster of the two all morning long. But it did not appear that Harry took tires. Adam Barker did take tires. That could be the deciding factor here. Don't forget, folks, tonight, 7:30 Eastern, BRR Cup Series playoffs continue. Can Mark Nelson lock up his championship tonight? Then at 9:30, SMR Gen 4 is back. And man, what a season. What great racing we have had with those Gen 4 cars. Giancarlo just set the fastest lap of the race and is the only driver to get under the 125 mark. 124.98. As Giancarlo comes by and puts Cody Kennedy a lap down. Cody historically has driven the BMW in GT3 races. Not sure why he decided to go with a car that was actively trying to go slow. Harry Volsmir still holds on to second. Barker on the bumper. Max Gunther did lose a little ground to those two. He is now 5.5 seconds back. Mike Marshall having another great run here this morning. He actually is leading the amateur division right now. Another great race this morning. He is likely to extend that points lead. Adam Barker all over the back bumper of Harry. But the McLaren power on the straight rears its head and pulls away. Max Gunther still trying to close the gap. As we've got a battle for second. Adam coming out of the turn to the inside. Can he get the run side by side? Harry on the power more quickly. What a battle. Harry holds on to second for a moment. Can Adam make another attack into turn one? Adam right in the slipstream. He looks low as they go off into turn number one. Adam gets the nose ahead, but Harry powers out, can't clear him. Now he does. That battle allowed Max Gunther to close the gap dramatically. He is now 2.7 seconds behind these two. Will Max have enough time left to get to him and get back into the fight? Giancarlo, meanwhile, a 13-second lead at the moment. Harry, for the moment, holding Adam off, but Max Gunther continuing to close in. He is now just 2 seconds behind Barker. Giancarlo may run down Edmund Jones and lap him as well. Max is losing a little ground on the straightaway. Hopefully he'll make up even more in the turns. Harry's still able to hold off Barker for the moment. Barker in the slipstream, out of the turn. Will he make the attack into turn 1 again? Max now just 1.6 seconds back and closing. Max just 1.5 seconds back now. The moment Adam goes on the attack, Max will be there. Harry just driving out of his mirror for a couple more laps. Giancarlo, meanwhile, almost a 15-second lead in race 2. Giancarlo just kind of gone. He's done. He is just out cruising today. And Max Gunther gets the slipstream. He is in the fight. Second, third, and fourth, all right there together. Giancarlo will be loving this. His lead will continue to grow as these three battle it out. Here we go, Barker. Barker has the run. And can he clear? Man, Harry fought back. Harry race back to the inside, but can't get there. Barker into second. Now Max Gunther. Oh! Adam is around. Max Gunther goes to second. Barker went around and caught Harry. Taking a look at this. Adam just gets loose. Harry went wide, had nowhere to go. Take a look down from the blimp. Might have been a little contact between Harry and Adam, and Max Gunther capitalized. Wow. So Giancarlo now out front. Max Gunther has second. A great comeback for him. Adam Barker now to third. Harry Volsmir in fourth. Rudolph Gunther in fifth. Mike Marshall in sixth. Edmund Jones in seventh. Cody Kennedy back in eighth. Giancarlo continuing to dominate his lead now, 17 seconds. Max Gunther is closing the gap just a little bit, but this late in the race, it will not make a difference. Adam Barker has pulled a gap on fourth place, Harry Volsmir. As Giancarlo comes through the final turn, the checkered flag flies 2 weeks in a row. Giancarlo will sweep both races. He pulls off the win at Indy. Max Gunther will come home in second. And Adam Barker finishes in third. Let's talk to our top three. Adam, your last few laps got really exciting. Wow, that's exciting too.
Yeah, it was crazy race. Really intense to start with as well. Just fighting with Harry, and then my tires dropped off a little bit. I think I was trying a little bit too hard on them. Knew I could maybe come back with the new tires when I pitted. Harry, I don't think took any, so he was really struggling, and finally managed to make the move stick, and then we got into a bit of a tangle. So and Max managed to sneak through as well, and then but P3 can't complain about P3.
All right, definitely not, man. A great run this morning. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Max Gunther coming home in second. Max, heck of a run to come home in second. You were charging back, and then a little incident gave you a lot of help.
Yeah, they helped me a lot. They were fighting for a while. Oh, yeah.
Well, it definitely paid off, and you come home in second, podiums twice this morning. You got to be happy about that.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I didn't see that coming. I thought they would just run away together and work together, but they didn't. So that was what was good for me.
It definitely was, man. That battle allowed you to close in. Great job and great finish, buddy.
Thank you, Tech.
And finally, our winner, Giancarlo. 2 weeks in a row, you sweep both races.
Yeah, this one was a lot of fun. I really had to put in the work to get past both Adam and Harry, but we got it done eventually.
Oh, it was definitely one heck of a fight getting there, and once you did get it, man, you were gone. A great race, buddy. Congratulations.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you tonight at 7:30 Eastern. Have a great day, everybody.